Hey, everybody, it's your girl Pajama with our review of Severance, The Residents, and Daredevil. Let's start now.
There is a dead body on the third floor of the White House. We have no idea who might have been involved in this. There is a murderer out there. Mr. President, this house needs to be treated like a crime scene.
Right now is a state dinner. There are 200 people down there, including the President of the United States.
Did anything unusual happen? Other than my boss dying? Other than that, yes.
Cordelia Cup.
She is the best detective in the world.
Where's the body? Oh, I see feet. There may be a murderer out there.
How do you want to do this?
I need to talk to everyone. Did you see Mr. Winter this evening?
I ran into him. He said, I am going to be dead by the end of the night.
I mean, it's just something people say.
I've never said that. Has anyone here ever said I'm going to be dead by the end of the night?
Yeah, the one time I went camping, I said that.
You've made this very dramatic.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, it's Pajama. And my buddy, this guy right here, David, say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Great to be with you tonight to talk about these fun shows. I hope you've had a great week, and I'm really glad you joined us. Let's go.
Hey, so what did you think? Our buddy Pat may or may not be with us today, but maybe did I hear him? Oh, I see. There he is. Hey, this guy. Pat, say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Sorry, I went around a little bit late. Apologies all around.
Ah, that's good.
He is the Time Lord now. I guess we got to give him a little slack, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and then maybe later he could talk about his life-affirming trip to the Comic-Con. All right. And what did people think of The Residents? David, why don't you get us started?
This slapstick version of 1600 Murder at 1600.
Murder at 1600. Oh,
really
Lord.
kind of a fun. Well, you know, I can't think of too many places where there's been an actual murder committed in the White House, as opposed to murder being signed off in the White House. That's a little important distinction. A fun film, great cast. I love seeing Moff Gus in anything. So that's just superb. I had a lot of fun with this. This was a good palate cleanser in my mind for this. So I love the murder whodunits, and this was a really neat one. Also, old school. There was the Cat and the Canary, an old movie with Bob Hope, and it had a little bit of that humor to it too. Which, if you haven't seen that old Bob Hope film, that might be one for you classic film nerds out there to check out.
And just a little bit of trivia. Who was the chef? Bronson Pinchot.
It was Bronson Pinchot, yeah. Bulky. Cousin Bulky.
Perfect Strangers. If that's a real deep cut. Or Beverly Hills Cop. Rich Serge. And I was
Twisted
like,
Lemon.
I didn't even recognize it. Then I saw his name pop up, and I was like, oh, he's the chef. Oh, my God, Serge. But it was really fun. I thought it was really interesting, and it was kind of an old school, kind of slapsticky murder mystery with a lot of banter, kind of like The Thin Man. But what I like too, that each of the titles of the episodes were classic kind of mystery or murder mystery kind of movies.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And with Shondaland, this is the most non-sexual Shondaland production I've ever seen. Usually they're hopping into bed like 3, 4, 5 seconds into the first episode. But this was something I think the whole family can enjoy, but you know, the language is a little tough. But it is a really fun, interesting, and takes you all the way. I actually binged it Well, I couldn't binge it in one sitting. I had to break it up into two parts, but it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. The characters were very interesting, and it was a surprise of who did it at the end. So I think it's something if you're into fun, kind of quirky, because the main character is pretty quirky. You'll enjoy The Residents. Pat, what did you think?
Well, I got through about 3 episodes, and I would have binged it all the way through, but I ran out of time, and I have to do that sleep thing occasionally for some strange reason.
Nah.
I know it's overrated. We'll sleep when we're dead. Yes.
Yeah.
But no, it was really good. It had that Sherlock Holmes feel, but kind of like the new Sherlock, where there's enough humor in it to balance the dry, just straight up, who done it type of thing, where you got. And it was, man, talk about a loaded cast. I mean, it had a lot of people in it, a lot of names, people that you weren't even, you couldn't remember that you knew them, but you knew them. You're like, I know that person. Where did I see him from? And you're like, oh, that's where from. And it was really well done. And like I said, the way they shot it was awesome. The whole, it felt like a mix between Clue and Sherlock, and there was all these characters and this drama. I mean, delightful. I am going to finish it. So well recommended by everybody who told me to watch this. Good job.
Yeah, very fun. And we have as we love here, a Star Trekker, a Trekkie. The chef was in Star Trek Discovery. So back to our old thing.
Oh, yeah. Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly. So definitely check out The Residents on Netflix.
Right.
Okay, up next is the weirdest show on TV, Severance. Let's take a peek.
Everything they told you about Severance was a lie.
But now the walls are crumbling.
Cold Harbor.
Okay, we may have had a little technical difficulty. Oh, wait a minute.
There it is.
Everything they told you about Severance was a lie.
But now the walls are crumbling.
Cold Harbor.
No, Mr. Milchick. He tries. Pat, what'd you think of Severance?
Yeah, the reason I was late because I was finishing that because I had enough time to wrap it up, and holy crap! Okay, that was the last episode of the season, so we have left ourselves, and this is not giving anything away, a cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. There's going to be more of this. There's got to be more. You just don't leave that hanging like that. Really some. Yeah, I don't even know how to talk about this show, to be honest. I mean, it's culty. It's a commentary about cults. It's a commentary on work life balance. There's a lot of things kind of going on here. Man, this, and I will tell you, I'm a fan of just watching things that are not the same old thing rehashed. I mean, the thing we just talked about, Residence, was pretty standard fare, interesting, well done, fun to watch. this ain't like anything I've ever seen before. I do enjoy something that challenges you and that someone actually came up with a new idea, which is unique and really rare these days. This show, man, every episode's a ride. You were trying to figure out, I mean, because it's a whodunit, because you don't know exactly what's going on. You don't know what they're doing, what they're saying. You still don't. I still don't. I mean, I just watched that last episode and I'm like, okay, so what the point? I'm just trying to figure it all out. But I'm intrigued, and it makes you want to keep watching this. This is one of the most unique and enjoyable experiences on TV right now. God, I can't get enough of this. It's just it's so weird and so great. So there you go. Now Pam's going to tell you she hates it.
It was like watching the KU game. They messed it up at the end.
Yep, there it was.
They
called it.
Fumbled it, and I was so mad. I could not believe the ending. I was like, this is some bull crap. So the whole season, though, was so interesting, and they took you places new and unique, and the cinematography was, especially the episode about Mrs. Cobell. That was certainly very, very interesting in the shots, and the design, and of course the marching band, because that was super funny, because there's this thing in the psychological literature now, workplace literature, about forced joy. And so this show kind of shows that kind of stuff, when they try to have like a pizza party for you, instead of paying you what you're worth, it's like the best part of like Office Space, and they're talking about flair and stuff like that. So it was just, I was loving it until the last 10 minutes. Y'all know if you've seen it. Yeah. And then I was like, there's some bull. That is stupid. I did not like it.
Coming back.
It was stupid. And so I just thought, man, this is like the Chiefs and the daggum KU basketball all rolled up into a TV show. So boo on Severance. You better come hot next season, because your girl ain't gonna watch if they keep up with this foolishness. David, what did you think?
And I thought this was fantastic.
Of course.
I did. I loved it. I loved it. It is so, I mean, it hurts your head. It confuses you. It takes you on these wild rides. But there is, I love the commentary on the Office Space. And I think that the forced joy, and I think there's that aspect to this. And there is a darkness to the cubicle culture. And if there's anything, I think this whole two seasons can really be, it's a metaphor for promoting remote work.
Thank you.
I think it's a metaphor for promoting remote work and being able to enjoy life. But this is neat. Ben Stiller, when he first started making films, when we think about, some of the funny off the wall crazy stuff he did. But
the Ben Stiller show kind of gave you a taste of that way back in the day.
It did, but there's a seriousness to what he can do as well. I think Reality Bites is a great example of that. I mean, there's a depth and an intelligence. And there's a lot to be said that comedy can come from dark places. You've seen some of his characters. Like there was a kid fat camp movie there. He kind of played the role that he built into the villain from Dodgeball. But you see the depth of his talent, and I'm really impressed. Again, this keeps you guessing. It's very creative. If you're looking for something different, something that is not of the norm, man, Severance is it.
And it makes you think, unlike a lot of others.
It really is. And that word could be used too often at times. but it is so apropos for this program because you're not used to seeing anything really like this before. And I just think every performance, whether it's the innies or the outies or whoever, it is so well constructed. It's a really good program. I didn't get the opening round vibes that you all did in the show. I just thought it was I'm there for the ride, and man, it was something neat to see. So I highly recommend taking Severance, for better or for worse, throughout the end of that this season. Cliffhanger in some ways, but they could finish the show right now and be done, and I think it would be a win.
I think it has been approved for season 3, so we'll see at least one more season.
I think I read something to the extent that they were talking about how Ben Stiller had this whole story written for the whole story line, whole story arc, and we're not through it. It's going at the pace it's supposed to go, and it is what it is. And he says, there'll be another season, And you were talking, Dave, just now, kind of struck my memory about how when you had the innies and the outies, and you could see the personality was different. You could tell if it was an innie or an outie, just kind of like they did with that one episode. It kind of reminds me of the great acting in Orphan Black with Tatiana Maslany, who played all these different clones, and you could tell which clone it was just by the way they acted. It was the same actress. I mean, what a good job Adam Scott did. Just there it is. He's all of them that were playing the innies and the outies. They all did great jobs at that. So, again, recommend it highly.
Yeah, the conversation between the two Marks.
That was slick. That was so slick.
That was really cool.
Witty.
And like I said, loved it till those last few minutes. And then, okay. But definitely still, even though I didn't like it, the last few minutes, I love the series. So check out Severance on Apple TV Plus. All right. Next up, Disney Plus's version of Daredevil Born Again. Let's take a look.
Why did you stop being a vigilante?
A line was crossed. But I assure you, I will look for someone to do the job for me. Mind putting the hatchet down?
I don't think you came here for my help. I think you want my permission, Red. You want to get your hands on somebody, you want to hurt them.
I was raised to believe in grace, but I was also raised to believe in retribution.
Vigilantes are not heroes. They are a threat to society. Spray.
All right. Here we are with Daredevil. I'm going to go first. Hated it! I'm not watching any more of these episodes. This
we are.
Of the Disney Marvel show.
Oh my God! You remember She-Hulk?
Yeah, really.
No, this is worse because
you're wrong. You're wrong.
This is why, in my opinion, that this takes a heroic character and a villain, and you start swapping them out, and now the hero is not quite heroic, and the villain is redeeming himself, but yet there are some really horrible things that happen in this. It's not for kids. I don't feel like it doesn't have a positive superhero type message. I'm sick of these shows trying to make these villains into some kind of cult hero or whatever. I was disgusted by this show and what it's doing to superheroes and having these vigilantes running around and murdering the one good, two great people got murdered up in this show, and I'm sick of it. So This show can eat a bag of blanks for all I care. That's it for me. David, what did you think?
Well, wow.
I was a little halting on
Well, I mean, talk about a drop the mic moment.
Show.
I mean, again, in comparison to other recent Disney shows, She-Hulk would be an example. I do think this is very good. I'm enjoying
She-Hulk stayed in its lane, though.
Well, yeah, the thing that shocked me the most with this, as we see the Punisher in the most recent episode, and we see the Kingpin. In my mind, Kingpin is still clearly the villain. He's got the white suit in the closet. He's looking at it. He's ready to put it back on. I think it's good. I was taken aback at the level of profanity for a Disney show.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised because there was a redubbed line from the season ending show of Andor, where the actress says, "Fight the Empire." She didn't say fight. They just redid it. I think if there was going to be one of those words dropped, it would have been right then and there.
Right.
Did seem a little strong throughout this on a Disney Channel as Moana was previewed next. But it speaks to the grittiness of the show. And I think that considering where they took the show from the beginning, connecting the original Netflix show to this, I'm enjoying this. I think the character, I think Matt Murdock is a great character. I think it's a fantastic cast. I'm enjoying this. I don't think it needs a bag of whatevers right now.
That's a negatory for me. Patrick, of course, loves it. Talk about it, Patrick.
Well, the thing is, life and everything is not black or white. Superheroes can be
but I don't
flawed.
go to superhero shows
Superheroes
to
can
look
be
at
flawed and still be superheroes. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Characters like this. Go ahead.
No, really. Is it my turn now? Just checking.
Go on.
Okay. I like things that are a little bit more reflective of real life. Everybody, this is great. And this actually tracks the way the comics are. Daredevil is not always just the super good, squeaky clean Superman. He is a street level crime fighter. He's the guy fighting stuff at street level. So he isn't dealing with world ending black and white decisions. He's dealing with, I have to try this. He's doing trolley problems every single day. Or do I let one person die or 5 people die? If I have to pull this lever, somebody's going to die, but somebody's not going to be happy with my decision. He's doing the best he can, and he's trying, and he's out there doing this stuff. I mean, and he's struggling with it. And you can see this through that. That's what makes it such a good show, is it's complex. It's not an easy read. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. The character is doing the best, and he's doing what anybody else would probably have to struggle with in this situation. So I love this, and Charlie Cox is the best Daredevil by far, and he sells this. He has that bit of that tortured angst that you need from the actual character that you see in the books. This is it. That's right on.
It's
love
right
it.
on. It's on some bullshit, but if you like it, why don't you let us know why? And if you don't like it and agree with me, then let us know that as well. Well, that's it for this week. Next week, we are watching I think it might be the season finale or close to it of White Lotus. Have we reviewed White Lotus? I think
we have not.
Oh, okay. So this might be the midpoint of White Lotus. Mufasa on Disney Plus, and Den of Thieves 2 on Netflix. So pretty action-packed session, and looking forward to it. And David, why don't you give us some final thoughts?
Well, I wish everyone a wonderful week. I hope you had a good St. Patrick's Day, and we're still in the midst of March, and I hope the madness continues for you and yours. As we would say, little passcode, special code there for those who are who know what I'm saying. Continue to follow this trend. Foxtrot Delta Tango.
Yeah. Pat, say goodnight to the people.
Everybody have a wonderful evening. Today I got to meet David Tennant and
Yes,
Alex Kingston.
talk about that.
Went to Comic-Con. It is still a unholy crowded ass mess. I just, I got there early. We got in, got our pictures, paid for some overpriced drinks, and then
you have
we
never
walked around.
seen a bigger smile than Patrick's picture with Doctor Who and Alex Kingston, right? Is that
Dr. River Song.
River
My
Song.
wife's there. It was absolutely awesome. They are very, very efficient at moving people in, moving people out. And David Tennant liked my mustache, so there you go.
Hey,
I'm just saying. So really, that was amazing. The Comic-Con experience was not great, especially if you're mobilely challenged like I am. My knee is dying today from standing in line for hours and hours on time.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. You know what? It was worth it. I got my cool memento, so loved it. That part was great. Everything else kind of iffy, and I got to tell you, after COVID, my crowd sensitivity is a lot higher than it used to be. I used to be able to just swim in these seas of people, but now I'm just like, okay, I think I've had enough of 20,000 or 30,000 of my closest friends. I'm ready to get the heck out. So we got out by lunch, and we were home doing what we needed to get done. So worked out great. Loved it. Loved meeting Tennant and Kingston. They were absolutely amazing. All 30 seconds we had with them, but no big deal.
Oh, that's so great. And dreams do come true. And so we say good night, resist, and have a good time. And we'll see you next time on Pajama Life. Take care. Bye.